There comes a time in a young man's life when he buys the car of his dreams, proceeds to get excited about it and throw parts at it willy-nilly without a thought of how the car might drive afterwards or what you're going to be driving it like on the daily, how it might affect the performance, or if it's going to make it rattle more, or if it's going to ruin the throttle response. Those are the sort of things that I've not taken into consideration over the years as I've driven this car and then not driven this car for years and taken care of it and neglected it on and off. So today, with this pile of parts behind me, what I'm going to be doing is spending a very long time taking it apart and fixing everything that I've done. Welcome to 2022, and apologies for that incredibly cringy intro. I'm going to be honest with you, that video was shot 6 months ago, as you can probably tell. I've not been consistent with posting on my channel pretty much ever. I'm entering my third year, and in the first year posted I think 8 or 10 videos, and the next year after that I posted 3 or 4, and I really want to be more consistent with that. So for 2022, my New Year's resolution is to post a video a week, because I realized as much as I enjoy it, it's never going to be anything more than a hobby if I don't upload consistently, and I want it to be fun and profitable. So I'll give you a short glimpse into the future to say that this is your new landscape and this is my new workplace. I won't tell you where it is yet, but you'll find out very soon. I left Mini with good circumstances, and what you saw there was my attempt to do something that I thought was going to be fun and cool on my way out the door that didn't really work out. And basically, I put together a bunch of parts that I was going to put on my car after my last day of work, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Couldn't drive the car. It sat there at Barron for another couple weeks while I took the Miata to Colorado, which you saw a couple episodes ago. But all that's been resolved by now. As you can see, I have another green first-gen Mini behind me. I'll tell you that story too. And yeah, just go ahead and watch this episode, and I'll catch up with you in a couple weeks. The big things I'm addressing tonight are, firstly, the transmission. It's a manual 6-speed, but it's the pre-facelift version. What I have right here is a manual 6-speed that I got out of, let's just say, special circumstances, being in the right place at the right time, as I am fairly frequently. It's a short ratio facelift transmission with a limited slip from the factory in it. So I've inherited that. We're gonna slap it in there. It's gonna be real nice. The other thing I'm doing is reinstalling my power steering, because I deleted it a while ago thinking it would give me a heavier, more kind of race car steering feel. But really what it did was ruin my steering shaft, ruin my steering rack, and generally just make everything really sloppy. So we're gonna undo that and put a new rack in it, a used rack, but a good rack. And everything else that you see laying on the floor behind you is a supplemental upgrade that I'm gonna be doing while I'm in there. You've got your transmission, you've got your power steering pump, power steering fan, power steering lines, new ones with nice, shiny new shielding. Let's see. Aluminum coolant expansion tank, aluminum power steering fluid tank, new CV boots because both of mine are torn and slinging their grease everywhere. This is the new steering shaft I was talking about. This goes from the steering wheel down to the rack. I've got all the necessary bolts that I need to take the subframe down and put it back up again. All the necessary seals to make this transmission fresh again. I've got a new clutch. I've got a new flywheel. I've got a new pressure plate. These are from a kit from Vallejo that gives you a single mass flywheel instead of the traditional Mini dual mass flywheel. So the spring is in the clutch friction wheel, as it usually is in a traditional car. Mini likes to do it the other way, where they put the spring in here. They get chattery over time. Mine's been doing it since I bought it. We're ready to be done with it. We've got a clutch alignment tool, a new throwout bearing, and we've got PowerFlex inner ball joints with some added camber, and PowerFlex front lower control arm bushings with added caster. I have never pulled the transmission off of this car's engine before. In 2015, when I took the car apart, put it back together for the first time and kind of learned everything about it, I pulled the motor and the transmission out as a whole on its stand and never split them apart. So I know the clutch was replaced at 90-something thousand miles, and I bought the car at 113. So most of the wear is all from me, and I really don't know what it's going to look like. I know it has some wear in it, and I did learn to drive a stick on this car, but I'm anticipating, I don't know what I'm anticipating, but I'm going to be really glad when it doesn't chatter when I put it back together. It's another day today. Amir was gracious enough to stay super late with me last night to help pull the transmission out because I was not going to be able to do it by myself. But I am happy to say that the clutch I took out of this car is actually in really good shape. I'm really proud of this. You can see there's still some thickness left between the sections of friction plate there, not down to any of the rivets. There's actually lots of thickness left on that.